everybody, it's Dr. Su from New Out of Box, and welcome to your HTML tutorial number 1 and 3. You're asking, or maybe you're wondering why I'm saying this way, because I don't really like the number that is if you connect 1 and 3. You know what I mean. So I'm just gonna name it a little bit in the odd way, but okay, I'm a little bit odd guy, so still. Okay guys, so during my past last tutorial, I was teaching you how to build a very basic table, so it would be displayed on your website. And you learned how to enter the rows, how to enter the columns, and how to play with borders and so on. Now, I left some of the information from the previous tutorial on my screen, so it would be easier if you if you have deleted it from the past tutorial. So just go ahead, pause it for a moment, type it in what you see on my screen, and we'll get back to it within a moment once you're done. Okay, so I hope you're ready, you're done, and guys, now during this tutorial I will teach you a couple of neat tricks still with the tables, what you can do, and I will cover, I hope, 3 subjects if I make it within 11 maximum or 12 minutes. Okay, so let's just get started. Okay guys, so first thing that I want to show you is simply how to play with the thickness of the borders of the table. And let's go ahead and type it in what type of a table we will have. So we will have, this is a table with 2 rows and 2 columns. So what we have to do now is we have 1 row, tr, and 1 column, right? So if we want to have 2 rows and 2 columns, that means we have to put 2 columns in the first row, and then let's copy this line and let's change the data. Let's say it will be apples. Oh, apples. And let's copy the entire row. Once we copy the entire row, and okay, let's get away from the vegetarian way of life, and let's say 10 baconators. Who doesn't love one? And 10, let's say what, hamburgers. Okay, so there we go, there we have it. Now let's play with the thickness, but let's make it really thick so we would see the difference right away. So I've entered 8, enter whatever the number you like, and let's refresh it on our web browser. And there you go guys, you can see that the table has changed right away, and we have the 8th the thickness of the border. Let's put it something really big, like 20. Let's save it, refresh it, and there you go guys. You can see how the thickness changes and how does the entire picture of the table changes right away. So that is it for the thickness of the borders. Let's restore it to, let's say, normal 1 to 2. And now the second subject, guys, that I want to teach you during this tutorial is that you can have the tables, in fact, without any borders. So there are 2 ways how we can do that. And one way is that we can simply enter 0. Once we enter 0, our web browsers will read it by default, that the table has no borders at all. So default value of thickness of the borders is 0, and if we enter 0, it will be 0, and eventually on the screen you will have no borders at all, just data aligned as a table. That's one way, but if you are too lazy or you just don't want to type anything in, that's perfectly fine as well, because if you delete the parameter of the border, let's go ahead and save it like that, by default your web browser will read it as well as no borders table. So you can see that if you don't enter the parameter of the border, it will leave the blank spaces between the data of the table. So if you prefer that table for your project or for your school or for your university, and enter a table without borders, that's what Mexicans would like to have between US and Mexico, no borders, so that's the way to do it. Okay guys, so next thing that I want to teach you during this tutorial, and that is quite an important subject and quite an important thing. You always guys need to enter table header, because if you have a lot of data in your table and you want to group the data, let's say that you're putting the fruits in one column, then you put different sorts of meats in a different column, and so on and so on. So you want to name those columns in the header of the table. So let's put the border parameter back, because we will need the borders, and let's put it 2, so it would be not too much and not too few. And now guys, how you would enter the table header. The table header is entered very in a simple way. You only have to do this: enter additional row. Let's enter additional row, close the tag, and now we need to tell our browser that we will have 2 headers, because we have 2 columns in this particular table. So let's table header is always entered with TH. That's what the table header stands for. So let's put it that we're putting the quantity, because in the first table, as you saw, in the first column, I'm sorry, we have numbers, so it will be quantity. And then let's close the tag. That is the quantity header. And the second header that we will have and that we will need will be the header of foodstuffs, or food. That would be the best definition. Okay, so let's refresh just for a moment to see what we get. And there you go guys, we get the quantity here, and now we need the header for our second for our second column. And let's go ahead and copy that. Let's paste it here, and foodstuffs. Okay, let's save it. Let's go and refresh it, and there we go guys. You can see that we simply are following the same algorithm, that we are telling our browser that first column in the first row will be quantity, and the second column in the first row will be foodstuffs. But we are bolding the text in our browser by entering TH, and that stands for table header. So the browser reads the table header and sees that it should be emphasized by bolding it. Okay guys, so that's one of the last things that I want to teach you, and one of the last tricks that I wanted to teach you what concerns the tables and building of the tables. We will get back to this subject a little bit later on by building a little bit more advanced and better looking and well, sexier tables. But there's one last thing that I want to teach you guys, and that's the span property. So the span property is that you can enhance your header over few columns. Let's say that you will have let's say data, well, I'm not gonna get into explaining, just see what I do and listen to my comment, and you will see what I mean. let's create one more table, one more column. That's what we need. We need a column, and let's build the column. So we will have 3 columns in every, okay, so in every row. So let's change the data. There will be 100 pairs, and let's say we'll add 10, well, Sundays. Yeah, who doesn't love ice cream? Okay, and now guys, we can in the foodstuffs column, because we will have two let's take a look at our middle product. You see that we have foodstuffs there, 100 apples, 10 hamburgers, but now we want this table header to span across these 2 columns. So let's go ahead and do that, guys. And how do you do that? It's quite simple, because you can simply enter column, call span, guys, sorry, and tell your browser how many through how many columns do you want your name to span. So let's save this one and see what we get. There you go, guys. You can see that the column that the table header has spanned over the 2 columns. So that's how you do the column span. Okay, guys. So I can see that my time, I'm a little bit exceeding my time limit for this tutorial. That's why I was rushing a little bit. So sorry for that, but I hope you got the concept and you understood how to build basic tables and make a column span. And thanks again, guys, for sticking with me for this very short tutorial for tables. And hit the subscribe button, like the video, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Thanks.